Welcome everyone to today's Explainer. We're bringing some serious, high-octane energy today because we are looking closely at a true cinematic icon. I mean, someone who is actively redefining what it actually means to be a legend. You know, if you've ever watched a movie and just felt completely pulled into that gritty, raw reality of the screen, there's a really good chance you are watching Robert De Niro. Let's break down exactly how he built this absolute towering legacy.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our source hits us immediately with this fantastic quote. Yo fam, meet the OG of Hollywood, straight up redefining what it means to be a legend. Right out of the gate, it frames him with this intense, undeniable street energy. Like he didn't just casually participate in the film industry, right? He fundamentally changed the rules. He is straight up redefining what a legend looks like.
The NYC street hustle. To really understand that legend, we've got to look at where it all started. Born and raised in New York City, De Niro grew up in a place where the hustle was incredibly real. There's absolutely no silver spoon Hollywood upbringing here. He hit that acting grind young, and he took that exact same street-smart survival instinct and applied it directly to his craft.
Well, that grind paid off, and it paid off fast. By the 1970s, the guy was cooking with fire. His intense, relentless work ethic just exploded onto the screen, right at the exact moment cinema was shifting toward these darker, much more realistic narratives. De Niro was literally the perfect vessel for this. He brought a level of intensity and just raw heat that audiences had honestly never seen before.
You talking to me? I mean, you know the line. With just those few words in Taxi Driver, De Niro took all that pure street energy and permanently cemented it into pop culture. He wasn't just reading a script up there, he was channeling the complete essence of urban isolation. It went way beyond the movie itself and became this universal cultural shorthand for just raw, unfiltered attitude.
And this brilliantly illustrates his evolution. He moved from that unpolished grit into creating the absolute blueprint for mob swag. As he transitioned into his era of playing gangsters, he didn't just dip his toes into the genre, he completely dominated it. He polished that raw street hustle into something terrifying, yet undeniably magnetic.
Think about defining films like The Godfather Part 2, Goodfellas, Casino. In these absolute classics, De Niro wasn't just playing a role. He was literally creating the blueprint. Pretty much every actor playing a mobster since then has been referencing the walk, the talk, and that chilling, quiet intimidation that De Niro built from the ground up in these very movies.
To truly grasp his growth, you've got to contrast these eras. On one hand, you have Taxi Driver, right? That represents this erratic, visceral, totally unpolished street energy. But then, look at the mob classics, refined, calculated, and possessing this just untouchable swagger. It is an absolute masterclass in taking innate, chaotic intensity and focusing it into a sharp, commanding presence.
But look, this isn't just about swagger. We're talking about sheer artistic merit here. He is constantly dropping masterclasses, especially when you look at his legendary collaborations with director Martin Scorsese. Together, these two turned cinema into pure art. They provided a literal educational experience in how to completely 100% inhabit a character. That undeniable talent is perfectly highlighted by 2 Academy Awards. And let's be real, these aren't just shiny trophies on a shelf. They represent the absolute peak of his intense, unwavering dedication. They recognize him as an objectively masterful artist, operating at the highest possible level of his craft.
And he reached that peak by going full beast mode. What does that mean? Transforming one's body and snatching an Oscar like a boss. Just look at his legendary performance in Raging Bull. It captures his physical dedication perfectly. I mean, he literally reshaped his entire physical self to become that character. He left absolutely nothing on the table.
So the crucial point is that his massive legacy isn't just about intense mob dramas or, pushing his physical limits. It is really about his wild versatility. Think about it. It is incredibly rare for an actor who is so closely associated with the mob genre to successfully break out of that box. Yet his masterclasses span across a remarkably wide range.
I mean, we're talking intense thrillers, laugh-out-loud comedies, terrifying mob bosses, and inspiring mentors. This dude can scare you, he can inspire you, and he can make you laugh until you cry, all within one single, unparalleled career. That wild versatility, that's the true hallmark of his genius.
And the best part? This isn't just some dusty history lesson. As the timeless Hollywood king, De Niro is still cooking. He hasn't faded into the background. He hasn't just rested on his laurels. He is actively working, still ruling the industry, and consistently delivering performances that command global attention.
Let's move to and see how this builds across a half-century of staying power. In the 1970s, we have his breakout street energy. In 1980, Raging Bull beast mode. Throughout the 90s, he lays down the definitive blueprint for mob swag. And then, jumping all the way to 2019, he drops The Irishman, remaining right at the absolute center of the cultural conversation.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the universal reaction to that 2019 project. Netflix went crazy, fans went crazy, critics went absolutely crazy. The entire modern entertainment ecosystem united to prove that he is still the undisputed king. It showed that his brand of timeless acting translates perfectly even into the digital streaming era.
Which brings us to the core takeaway of our explainer today. Robert De Niro ain't just an actor, he's Hollywood's street legend. He didn't just stand on his mark and memorize lines. He brought this authentic, visceral energy to the screen that permanently redefined Hollywood and totally changed what audiences expect from a leading man.
So, we have to end on this really provocative question. Is De Niro the ultimate USA icon? Based on the hustle, the swag, the absolute beast mode dedication, and the timeless impact we've explored today, the argument is incredibly strong. So, where do you stand? If you vibed with this energy today, go ahead and hit that like button. And definitely subscribe because we have plenty more explainers on massive icons dropping very soon. Thanks so much for joining me to unpack the legend of the OG, and I'll see you in the next one.